So it's not unusual for Christians to be isolated and looked down upon. And that's you and me. Okay? We're not getting any great awards for being Christian. We're getting the cross. We're getting beaten up verbally and politically. You know that. Just because you believe in Jesus Christ. Just because you practice your faith. And again, as our guest said a few minutes ago, you can't practice your faith in certain countries. You can't even go down the block in front of a church, if there is a church there, and make the sign of the cross. You'll be targeted. So now you got Paul's idea of, I'm being rejected by Jews, my mission is being rejected by Jews, so I'm going to go to the Gentiles. And that opens up the doors to everyone for us, because Paul's theology says, I'm not going to go to a select group only. I'm going to spread my word to all people. Okay, so now we have Jesus talking about another outsider, a Phoenician woman. Jesus goes into the Canaanite area. You know, that's enemy territory. So he's preaching everywhere else, and his reputation, just like we said, he proclaimed the gospel and cured people left and right, and everybody was excited in his community, those who were his followers. And you know, even among his followers, there were those who betrayed him and those who didn't follow him. So our encouragement is to keep following Jesus, but sometimes there are walls that prevent us. Greed, hate, selfishness, they prevent us from following Jesus. And again, as our guest said a few minutes ago, how the word of God has to go to all people, and people whose language is different than us. And this is a great community for that, because how many languages we celebrate here because of your ethnic background, because of your United Nations affiliation. We represent the universal church in a mini cosmetic way. So Jesus is preaching, and he's preaching to Jews, and some of them are following him. And then he enters enemy territory. And a woman, a Canaanite from that territory, they're non-believers, they're non-Jews, they don't get along with the Jews. Put Jesus in that group, they don't get along with Jesus. But this one hears, again, we go back to Matthew 4, Jesus proclaimed the gospel of the kingdom and cured every disease among the people. So, his reputation preceded him. She comes following him. You gotta imagine this. I don't know what she wore or the language she spoke, but she was definitely not a Jew. She was definitely an outsider. She was labeled, whether it was her clothing, her language, her accent, I don't know. But she was labeled as a non-Jew. So it's a funny kind of gospel. So this woman's daughter is being possessed by the devil. We don't know the exact details, but she's home. She's possessed by the devil. Maybe she had a mental disorder. Maybe she had a raging experience with Satan. I don't know. But the woman, the mother, comes to Jesus because, again, he cures people. So she's going after his reputation. He asked for it. You don't want people to follow you? Don't cure them. You don't want people to follow you? Don't make bread out of rocks. You want people to follow you? Don't walk on water. But you do all those things. You feed people from a little piece of bread. You feed 5,000. You're going to get popular. Okay, so here is Jesus being confronted by this Syrophoenician woman, just to let all of us, the readers, know she's a major outsider. Okay, Jesus, Son of David, give me. You kidding me? That's exactly the reaction. Even the disciples, Jesus, this lady's following us. And I'm sure they didn't say lady. Send her away. Just think of Jesus being torn inside. He is sent to us. He's sent to the Jews, and then his missionary lineage goes beyond the Jews to the world. Paul picks that up, to the Gentiles.